माधव गंगा बिहारी जय राधा माधव गंगा बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना वनचारी वनचारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री राधा माधव हरि भगवान की जय गौरंग नित्यानंद महाप्रभु की जय प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नमो भगवते ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते नारायण नमस्कृतं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भागवतरुत्तम श्लोको भक्तिः भवति नैष्ठिकी कृष्णे सुधाम भगति कलो न सञ्चामि सम्पुराग्वरुरोधितः श्रीमद्भागवतम् chapter 4 verse number 20 कर्मं प्रवृत्तं च निवृत्तं सत्यमृतं विदे विदित्यो भयलिङ्गमाश्रितम् विरोधि तद्योगपदैककर्तरी वयं तथा ब्रह्मणि कर्म नर्तकी
Text 20.
मम प्रवेतं च निवेतमप्रितं देवे विनित्यो भयलिङ्गमाश्रितम् विरोधितद्योगपदैकर्तरी स्वयं तथा ब्रह्मणि कर्म नर्तकी मम प्रवीतं सर्वेतमप्यल्पम् Vede nilucho vayalinga mahrutam. Virodhi pariyoga padaika kartari. Adhitam tanuritam aptam. चल रही है Vede nilucho vayalinga mahrutam. Virodhi pariyoga padaika kartari. Soyam tata brahmani karmanarithati. Savetam tanaditam apritam. Vede vinichu vadalinga. Virodhi pariyoga padaika kartari. Soyam tata brahmani karmanarithati. Karma activities. Pravityam physical enjoyment. Virodhi asarta and nirvitam material detachment. Api certainly. Vitam true. Vede in the Vedas. Vidit, Viditya distinguished. Ubhaya lingam symptom of both. Asritam directed. Virodhi contradictory. Tatu that. Yoga pada eka kartari. Both activities in one person. Soyam two. Tatha so. Brahmani in one who is transcendentally situated. Karma activities na richati are neglected. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Swami Charanara Binda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada की विधारक होंगे. Scroll करूंगा तो translation. In the Vedas, there are directions for two kinds of activities. Activities for those who are attached to material enjoyment and activities for those who are materially detached. In consideration of these two kinds of activities, there are two kinds of people who have different symptoms. If one wants to see two kinds of activities in one person, that is contradictory. But both kinds of activities may be neglected by a person who is transcendentally situated. Okay. Vedic activities are so designate that a conditioned soul who has come to enjoy the material world may do so under direction so that at the end he becomes detached from such material enjoyment and is eligible to enter into the transcendental position. The four different social orders, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa, gradually train a person to come to the platform of transcendental life. The activities and race of a Grihastha or householder are different from who those of a sannyasi. One in the renounced order of life, it is impossible for one person to adopt both orders. A sannyasi cannot act like a householder, nor can a householder act like a sannyasi. But above these two kinds of person, one who engages in material activities and one who has renounced material activities, there is the person who is transcendental to both. Lord Shiva is in the transcendental position because, as stated before, he is always observed in the thought of Lord Vasudeva within himself. Therefore, neither the activities of the Grihastha nor those of the sannyasi in the renounced order can be applicable for him. He is in the Paramhamsa state, the highest perfectional stage of life. The transcendental position of Lord Shiva is also explained in Bhagavad Gita 2.52 to 50. It is stated there that when one fully engages in the transcendental service of the Lord by performing activities without pretty result, one is elevated to the transcendental position. At that time, he has no obligation to follow the Vedic injunction or the different rules and regulations of the Vedas. When one is above the directions of the Vedic ritualistic injunctions for attaining different allurement and is fully absorbed in the transcendental thought, which means thought of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in devotional service. One is in the position called Buddhi Yoga or Samadhi, ecstasy. For a person who has attained this stage, neither the Vedic activities for realizing material enjoyment nor those for renunciation are applicable. Om Jnana Gurave Namaha. Om Vishwadaya Krishna प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवाचार्य गौर भक्त हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम. Two types of activities talking about the pravritimta nivritimta. Pravritti and nivritti. Pravritti means that we are simply doing for to gain the material happiness. Varieties of activities performing those types of things. Even though that is the name of the spiritual and just asking and using those power for the material enjoyment, that is called pravritti. It's also not outside of the Vedas. Vedas also talking about the who wants to material enjoyment. They can also perform the service, devotional service like devotion to our Lord. Shiva, Brahma, Indra, Chandra, Arun, Varun, all of them. They can do and they can get some results, some fruits, and then they can enjoyment. The Srimad Bible second canto, the third chapter, there is talking about the uh, people what they want, they have to go to a particular goal, and they will get a desired goal. Different types of for beautiful wife, for beautiful husband, and educated and wealthy, and name, fame, whatever they desire, they have to go to particular God, and they can provide those things. That is called pravritti. Or nirvritti means it has from the material attachment. That is the nivritti. So people have to accept the nivritti marga. That's pravritti marga. Pravritti marga is part of sense enjoyment attached to the material enjoyment that may cause that cause to the rebirth and just born by the three modes of nature later and dukha, they have to go through the suffering. But Nibirti Marga, who adopt the Nibirti Marga, for them, not that much hard because they don't have to come back again here. So the Lord Shiva here talking about the Lord Shiva is higher than both of them. That means he already situated in the transcendental position. That's why after getting that position, Nivritti Marga successful. After adopting the Nivritti Marga, that means who is stayed in the transcendental position and then finish the Nivritti Marga also. That's why Pravritti, Nivritti, both of them not applicable for the those type of Paramhamsa, those types of transcendental. So another things also here, and any ashrama, any ashrama they can perform the transcendental. They can situate it in the transcendental position. That means same time many people cannot do same activities. That means here talking about the Prabitin and Nivritin. It's not happen together. Like not day and night is same time. Same thing, material attachment and material detachment not will happen one time. And like Prabhupada giving here example like Grihastha, Banatari, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. They can one person cannot be both. Lord Shiva is the transcendental position. Is in the transcendental position because he is just remembering the Lord Vasudeva. He is always absorbed in the thought of Vasudeva within himself. Therefore, neither the activities of the Grihastha nor those of the sannyasi in the Vedanta can be applicable. And he is not a Grihastha, he is not sannyasi. Even though he is Grihastha and he is just seated, staying as meditating upon the Lord Vasudeva all the time, but he is not sannyasi. So both of them, the things is not applicable for him because he is beyond that. He is the Paramhamsa. Buddhi Yoga, Kal Buddhi Yoga, Samadhi, ecstasy. That means who is situated in the high transcendental position and that is called Samadhi. That is Buddhi Yoga. Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Buddhi Yoga. Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. The Lord will give the Buddhi Yoga. For whom? Who is continually chanting his name. That's the Lord is doing that. Sapatam Kirtan Chamam Yo Dridavata. Dadami buddhiyogam tam tenam today. Not saying the Bhagavad Gita. Satatam kirtanam. That means satata means continuously we just glorifying the Lord. And for those types of people, that types of devotee, Lord will give the buddhi yoga. Buddhi yoga means that types of intelligence will link in with the Lord. Buddhi means intelligence, yoga means linking with the Lord. That's called buddhi yoga. So but neither the Vedic activities for realizing material enjoyment nor those for renunciation are applicable. So who attend this buddhi yoga, for them is nothing. Yeah. Maho padabhya pitaras mada आस्थिता यज्ञशाला सुनधुमा अपर्कमभि तद तदन्न तृप्तैर अशुभ्री अशुभृतिभिर्ईथिता अवेक्तलिंगा अवधूत सेविता उत्कटाता. My dear father, the opulence we possess is impossible for either you or your flatterer to imagine. For person who engage in creative activities by performing great sacrifices are concerned with satisfying their bodily necessities by eating foodstuff offered as a sacrifice. We can exhibit our opul- opulences simply by desiring to do so. This can be achieved only by great personalities who are renounced, self-realized souls. Sati's father was under the impression that he was exalted in both prestige and opulence, and that he had offered his daughter to a person who was not only poor but devoid of all culture. Her father might have been thinking that although she was a chaste woman, greatly adherent to her husband, her husband was in a deplorable, deplorable condition. To counteract such thoughts, Sati said that the opulence possessed by her husband would not be understood by materialistic person like Daksha and his followers, who were flatterers and were engaged in creative activities. Her husband's position was different. He possessed all opulences, but he did not like to exhibit them. Therefore, such opulences are called abhekta or unmanifested. But if required simply by willing, Lord Shiva can show his wonderful opulences, and such an event is predicted here. For it would soon occur. The opulence Lord Shiva possesses is enjoyable in renunciation and love of God, not in material exhibition of sense gratificatory method. Such opulences are possessed by personalities like the Kumaras, Naradas, and Lord Shiva, not by others. In this verse, the performers of the Vedic rituals are condemned. They have been described are as Dhuma, Dhuma, Vartmavi, those who maintain themselves on the remnants of the sacrificial foodstuff. There are two kinds of foodstuff offered in sacrifice. One kind of food offered in primitive ritualistic sacrifices, and the other, the best, is food offered to Vishnu. Although in all cases Vishnu is the chief deity in the sacrificial altar. The performers of the primitive rituals aim to satisfy various demigods to achieve in return some material prosperity. Real sacrifice, however, is to satisfy Lord of Vishnu, and the remnants of such sacrifices are beneficial for advancement in devotional service. The process of elevation by performing sacrifices other than those aim at Vishnu is very slow, and therefore it has been condemned in this verse. Vishwanath Chakravarti has described the ritualistic performers to be like crows, because crows delight in eating the remnants of food stuff which has been thrown into the dustbin. All the Brahmanas who were present of the sacrifice were also condemned by Sati. Whether or not King Daksha and his flatterers could understand the position of Lord Shiva, Sati wanted to impress upon her father that he should not think her husband to be without opulence. Sati, being the devoted wife of Lord Shiva, offers all kinds of material opulences to the worshippers of Lord Shiva. This fact is explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam in the 10th canto. Lord Shiva's worshippers sometimes appear more opulent than the worshippers of Lord Vishnu, because Durga or Sati, being the superintendent in charge of material affairs, can offer all material opulences uh, to the worshippers of Lord Shiva in order to glorify her husband. Whereas the worshippers of Vishnu are meant for spiritual elevation, and therefore their material opulence is sometimes found to decrease. These points are very nicely discussed in detail. So, what we have to learn from this? Lord Shiva is applicable for uh, able to do everything. He can give, and talking is condemn the other thing that egg here. If remnants is only sacrifice for the demigods, that remnants cause the bondage, and another is to uh, develop our devotional service after having remnants. But Vishnu Yajna is the result fruitful. Other yajnas, and then here saying the opulences possessed is impossible for either you or your caterer imagine. He is saying possessed. Yeah? That means Shiva and herself. He is saying we have that much because sometimes saying that's way Prabhupada is saying sometimes saying that sometimes the Lord Vishnu's devotee more than that Shiva's devotee. Shiva can just benedict them more than the Vishnu because Vishnu Bhakti uh, mean for this self-realization, not for sense of that. But whatever Devi, Durga Devi, she is the chief manager of the field. this material activity. So it will happen. Desiring do so. We can exhibit our opponents simply by desiring to do so. This can be achieved only by great personalities who are renowned, self-realized souls. Sanatan Goswami and other Goswamis we can see in their life, they can just give up the things for the self-realization. Whatever they are, position, money, everything. And some of the devotees, they use their money for the self-realized also, giving the charity to others and making temples and other things. They did so. And Lord Shiva's devotee, we can see, he is the Asutosh. Uh, we can please him very soon, and he will please very soon. This Dwadasachar, Panchachari, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. This we can please him. Dwadasachara, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dwadasachara, this we can please the Lord Krishna. Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, they all chant the Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. They chant that mantra. Sometimes they say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. So she is saying, my husband, uh, Shivaji, he have everything. He is exalted person. Sanatan Goswami also sometimes, there is one story. Jewel, Parasmani, given by somebody, just putting in the garden. But that means he doesn't know that Parasmani or Ishwar. No, he know that, but he's just saying this is for only material opulence. That doesn't matter. That's why he put it in the garbage. That means that's why Lord Shiva has all powerful things, but still he is just living with the crematorium places and ashes and with the ghosts and all these things. That doesn't mean he don't have any opulences. But he wants to remind his father because yeah, her father, he is very puffed up. So whatever you are thinking, I have this position and I can do the big sacrifice, all these things. For Shiva, this is nothing. We also can. I also can. That means I also I can do many things because we know her power also, but they are not showing that all the all these things. So flatter it means followers, no? Whatever they are chanting, oh, that's a great opportunity, great personality, this. But this whatever they have, they possess the opponents. This is tiny things like they are saying. Lord Shiva having the Abhakta form. Abhakta Bhiktima Pannam. In Bhagavad Gita also Lord is saying, I have two types of feature. One is Abhakta, means non-manifested, and another is Bhakta, manifested form. That means Abhakta means he is not impersonal, a person. He is saying Abhakta means they have opponents in unmanifested. When they desire, they can manifest it. But if required, simply by willing, Lord Shiva can show his wonderful opulence. And such an event is predicted here. So it will be soon, that's the thing. And Lord Kumara, Narad, and Lord Shiva, not by others. With the most renowned personalities, they have all opulences. Talking about according to this verse, Kumaras, Naradas, and Shiva. Even though Kumara doesn't have wife, children, Narada doesn't have wife, children. See, they have the all opulences, so they can benefit anybody. That's why condemned by The short is by this verse using that Vedic sacrificial is condemned because doing so we will get particular types of opulences only. If somebody desire putra, somebody son, somebody desire to some wealth, some good health, something, but only one they will get. But after doing the devotional service, and then they can achieve everything. That is Siddhi, Navanidhi, everything will come automatically. So, and another things also here is talking Huma Bhartamari, Huma Bhart. One kind of food offered to the spiritual is sacrifice, and the other, the best, is food offered to the Vishnu. Vishnu remains is good. That Uchishta. Yeah? That is called Uchishta. Whatever is remnants uh, from the Lord Vishnu, that Uchishta. So Uchishta Bhojan is very, very powerful for our devotion. That's why many devotees they wants to take remnants from the pure devotee that cleanse our heart and our integrity. And other demigods, if we are taking the other demigods remnants, and we will get some benediction from those types of demigods. But if we are taking the remnants from the Vishnu area, and we can pure our heart, and we can elevate our devotional service. That is the difference between the remnants also. Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur also talking about the we taking the remnants from the other yajna, not Vishnu yajna, and just having crow, those having the filthy, whatever the remnants is from the filthy places, and then they can take like that. Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, Srila Prabhupada,